Chamber of Commerce and the Guam Contractors Association have been some of the major proponents of the military buildup, even so far as recently launching a letter campaign to the Senate to block amendments by Senator John McCain to freeze and cut funding for the Guam realignment. Those efforts, as well as efforts by many other Guam leaders, including Guam delegate Madeline Berdalio, who sat on the House-Senate Conference Committee for the 2012 National Defense Authorization Act, didn't receive a favorable response, as the final version puts the buildup on the back burner and freezes funding until the Department of Defense submits a master plan and provides evidence of tangible progress on the Futenma replacement facility. The final version also requires a study to be conducted on the military's force posture in the region. GCA President James Martinez says, like everyone else, he's disappointed that it has come to this. He does, however, remain hopeful and is thinking positive that the buildup is still going to happen at a delayed or slower pace. With private sector development, local government development, the new private hospital, and projects related to the tourism industry, Martinez adds Guam's still got a bright future.
So certainly there's going to be a lot of work out there, and if you want to call the military buildup just the icing, then we can call it that. But with or without the military buildup, I think that Guam will sustain itself, at least in the construction industry, because there's going to be a lot of newer things that will be happening here, including our increase in our tourism industry.
Meanwhile, included in the final version of the 2012 NDAA is Congresswoman Madeline Berdalio's amendment removing a provision in last year's NDAA requiring the Navy have 33% voting share on the Consolidated Commission on Utilities. Chairperson Simon Sanchez.
It's good. I mean, it gets rid of something that was pretty stupid and unimplementable to begin with, and unnecessary. And it still preserves in law that the Congress has authorized GWA and the Secretary of Defense to enter into discussions about the transfer of the Navy system to GWA.
Sanchez adds long-term, the Guam buildup is still good for Guam in having an increased defense posture. However, it's disappointing to freeze money that could come into the economy and specifically GWA. He says the NDAA reflects the confusion and lack of consistent national policy for the buildup. As we reported, Berdalio was not successful in removing the provision dealing with the sale of the Fena Reservoir at fair market value. But all hope's not lost because the provision can be used as a basis for litigation in the future. The House and Senate are expected to vote on the final version of the 2012 NDAA tomorrow Guam time. Congresswoman Berdalio is pushing her colleagues to vote against the measure, but if passed, she will push for President Barack Obama to veto it. If you'd like to review the conference report on the bill, log on to KUAM.com. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintaniza.